Yo, what's going on, everybody? Keep Mobile in full color, and today I'm going over Sifu. This will be my first review of the year. So without further ado, let's get to it. I'm a huge fan of martial arts films and anything kung fu related. I really love it. And this game, definitely on the surface level, when it comes to story and everything that you can see in the looks and the environment, scream martial arts film inspired. It's not copy and paste, but you definitely can see all the elements that exist that make martial arts movies what they are portrayed here, so it feels like an homage to those. I am super on board with it, and I love everything that they have done with that. Some things are a little too cliche and all that, but hey, that's what the genre calls for, so it is what it is. For those who don't know, this is a roguelite pretty much. It's different. It's a different take on it, but it is a roguelite. Every time that you die, you do come back to life a year older. However, if you take consecutive deaths to the same enemy or in the same room, you will then have a multiplier. So you may be able to age 5 years in advance if you keep dying to the same enemy over and over again. Once you hit 70 years old, the game is over and you're done. You'll have to restart your run. All right, so pretty cool concept. The thing is with this concept is that every decade your damage goes up, but your health goes down. So then you become a glass cannon, and if you're dying, you probably haven't really learned defense too much. So it's this weird give and take of, I'm going to help the player by letting them do more damage, but they've died so much they haven't really learned defense. This is a really weird thing that's going on. I feel like there should be some type of balance to it, and that's where the game becomes frustrating for a lot of people. Now, I'll tell you, my first run cleared it, no issue, no problem. I had zero issue with learning the defense and all that. Some of the stuff was really hard to read, some of the animations, but once I got used to it, I was like, okay, cool. It took me about 8 hours to clear, and I literally just bombed through it just so I can get this review out. I am gonna run through it again and again and again. One, because you have this bingo board, which gives you more context, it gives you more lore, it unfolds more of the story for you, and also by finding some of these hidden things inside of levels, you open up other passageways in levels. So I do plan on doing more runs just to kind of see how many different ways you can make it through a level, but also so I could try to get that flawless run. I feel like it's gonna be very difficult, but I'm here for it. Speaking to the levels and all of that, you have a home hub, so you kind of got like this detective board where you're researching, you're figuring out who's who and doing that, and it's pretty straightforward. Don't take this as you're gonna have to go and really research. No, like the game kind of guides you through it pretty easily. It's just that when you go through the level, you can find some of the collectibles. It'll add some time onto your gameplay. Again, I didn't really even go search a whole lot for it, and I was able to just kind of make it through. It does probably take you through some areas that you wouldn't have to go through naturally if you found the clues, but more or less, you know, I took the scenic route, it may seem. With that, some of these levels feature some really dope camera angles. There's some really great camera angles, and when those camera angles change, the beat changes, which brings us into the sound, and the soundtrack is amazing. Like, that soundtrack is hard. I really enjoyed it. The music change up when you're in these boss battles are really good. It makes you feel entrenched within the game, like you kind of begin to zone out and really want to make it work. Tons of environments to use, just banging people's heads into drywall, kicking them down steps. There's so much stuff that you can do with environments. You have weapons all over the place. It's nuts. It's literally, if you like martial arts movies and you kind of saw the bucket on the ground and you were like, yo, I know he's gonna get that bucket, and then, you know, he kicks the bucket on someone's head and then kicks a dude in the head while the bucket's on his head. This stuff exists throughout the game, and it makes it even more fun because you're trying to figure out not only how do I just successfully take someone out, but how do I flashily take someone out. And it's just a really fun ride to try and go and do all that with. Now, there are these like Jade Dragon things that exist throughout the levels, and these help you grant power-ups to yourself. This is one of the parts where the game, I feel like, very much so stalls a little bit. They really don't explain too much the leveling up system. You do get XP, and how do you spend your XP? You get a level score. How, you know, it doesn't really convey to the player what all this means. It just kind of throws you in. And for me personally, a person who likes to just figure it out, I don't want to go through the prompts. It was cool, but I did miss out on some stuff I noticed in my first run. For instance, you have a thing that you can spend a token on if you're under a certain age, but every time you find the dragon, you only get to spend one token. So you can either use your age limit token, you can use your XP token, or you can use your level score if it's high enough for that. Had no idea, so like I'm just kind of doing stuff, and there definitely is a way to strategically get the best stuff depending on how you're going. If you're dying a lot, you probably want to use that age token first, because if you're, you know, dying, getting older, you can only get some of those perks when you're of a certain age. And then you have your XP that you can use to buy a skill. Now you need to buy that skill 5 times to unlock it permanently, and that's something that you also need to take into account for when you're running through the levels. Am I going to use my XP here? It's a whole lot to take in for a roguelite. This kind of it just makes things a little clunky, but the gameplay and the combat is so addictive that I feel like it kind of helps. But again, you do feel like in my first run I did feel a little cheated when I got to the end of it, but now that I know more, I can't wait to do my next run so I can really try to see, you know, how busy I can get with getting some of these perks like health on takedown and things like that. Overall, for 40 bucks, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It took me about 8 hours to beat my first run through. Like I said, I just bombed through it. My second run through, I plan on kind of doing more exploration, and I can't wait to get through that. I hope you all check it out. If you're a big fan of martial arts movies and kung fu stuff, I think this will really be up your alley. It's a very unforgiving game. It takes some time to really get down with, especially the defense. But if you just take the time, kind of learn to read animations, it's going to be really crazy, really fun. I won't say it's as unforgiving as a Sekiro or a Bloodborne or a Demon Souls, but there is a level of frustration that comes with it, especially when you're getting older and your health starts dropping. But that's going to do it for this one. Stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscription button and notification button and check out some of the videos that we'll be posting. So many games coming out this year, and this is just the first of many that are dropping this year. All right, that being said, peace, be easy, be blessed.